How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and welcome back to another Tower of Fantasy video. This is going to be day 25 in the Ultimate Guide series, and we are going to be starting to kick things up a pace. We have level 60 fast approaching, which is going to change the way we play the game dynamically, and in addition to that, we have a lot of changes to Vitality and XP and how we're going to be going about those. So make sure to check out the later portions of the guides, because there's going to be a lot of interesting details there for that. So, first we're going to go ahead and break down this video. We're going to talk about the important news section first and foremost. After that, we're going to go into the Speedrun daily checklist, followed by the extra daily checklist, and finally, the after all that section, which will contain a lot of long-term things. So starting with the brand new news. So the first thing we have here is Frontier Clash. This is going to be the most important thing on today because you want to get this going so that you can see what kind of legendary gear you are getting from your hard mode clash. Hopefully you can get quite a few good pieces. I know people are being able to 4 and 5 chest this boss pretty consistently now. So make sure that you are putting your best foot forward when you do this. You should be 3 out of 3 attempts, and now is the time to do it, since you will be level 58 today, and this is going to be your highest power spike before the weekly reset happens. So you're going to want to obtain this gear and use it for your Bygone, and we'll talk about that later too, because this is going to be very important to get you strong enough to have the best results for the week so that you can collect the most rewards possible. Once we have finished that Frontier Clash, then we will be moving on to talking about the weekly reset. So the Bygone is going to be very important. Bygone Phantasm this week, if you take a look at your bracket, you're going to see the rewards being calculated. But the most important thing to note is that you will be getting Gold Dust this week. Gold Dust is very vital for fishing, for legendary equipment with good stat ranges and good stat increase. And you're going to be cycling through a lot of legendary gear, trying to find that perfect piece that happens to roll those perfect upgrades. So you're going to need every single bit of Gold Dust that you can get your hands on. So the placement in the Bygone Phantasms will be very nice. So if you can squeak out a top 5 finish or whatever you need to do, check your rewards here. I think this week I should be able to hit number 1 pretty comfortably. So I haven't started my push at all. I have tons of power scaling, so I should be able to fly past these guys and hit number 1 for the week. But if you can, try to aim for that top range, at least, like, you know, maybe top 20 or something like that, so you can get a little bit bonus. If you can make it to top 5, that's really good because you get the advancement modules. But, you know, of course, play within your means and do what you need to do. At the very least, just participate, because just participating will get you Gold Dust and booster modules, which you're going to need, which is going to be very important. So make sure you're staying on top of that and you start grinding now, because Bygone does take a little while. It takes a while to grind in the Bygone Phantasm, so don't wait till last minute Sunday night. Oh no, reset's coming and I need to gain levels, so make sure you're on top of that. Okay, so once you've covered that, let's talk about the Road of Strife. The Road of Strife event is still going on right now. We have 2 ways to get the Star Grit, and that is going to be through the Stellar Way Divergence, which is that little Stargate type thing, and also Orienteering, which is every hour after noon, which is very fun. I've been enjoying these races. I will say that there are some cheat codes in the races. If you have Hilda Awakening, and we'll talk a little bit about that later too, you could go a little bit faster than everybody else, so that's awesome. And then just some general tips: make sure you target the blue arrows, avoid the red arrows, and watch out for those critters, because they can stop you dead in your tracks, which is always super obnoxious. Once we have the Wanderer's event done, then we will have the Wanderer's Log next, which is going to allow us to complete Chapter 12 once you hit level 58, and it will take a while because, as you saw, experience is getting very, very difficult, as we've been preaching since day 1, you know, save this, yada, yada, yada. Okay, yep, now's the time. We all know the drill. It is very, very hard to get these levels, so once you obtain level 58, you will also unlock Chapter 13, and you'll be able to dive into the goodies there. I wouldn't expect to complete Chapter 13 because it's most likely going to have a level limit lock behind it, so you're going to have to go ahead and get everything that you can from there. But we're going to get a bunch of goodies like the 500 dark crystals, as well as everything that's going to come with the next page in Chapter 13, so be sure to check that out and look forward to it. Once you have that covered, I did want to give out a warning, and I give out these warnings a lot, but weapon materials are going to be very, very valuable very soon. So right now, in order to upgrade a weapon from 110 to 120, which will be coming fast, you're going to need 8 of the type 2 materials for each one, and that's times 3, so that's for all of your main weapons plus any side weapons that you want to level up. So you need to focus your efforts on getting these materials, because today we have level 58, so that means on Monday we will have level 60 unlocked. So Monday is going to be a massive day. It's going to be the week reset, everything's going to be fresh and new, and level 60 is going to be available. So there's going to be all kinds of things going on. So you definitely want to put in some work while you have this, this weekend time here, so that you're set up in a nice position for Monday. And that's going to be what this is all about. Okay, once you're comfortable with your weapon materials, you should probably check out the new boss in the Void Rift. It is Selly, so if you do not have her for your boss collection, feel free to go ahead and do so. And of course, you get 20 Dark Crystals every time you kill or collect a new boss. Once you get them all, you should get a little bonus, so that should be nice. And then we will be heading into the Wormhole warning. The Wormhole will be resetting in quite a few hours, 17 hours. So if you haven't cleared your Wormhole, Virgo, all the way up to floor, 48 points total, make sure you do that, because you're going to need quite a lot in order to get this dust at the end of the week. 280 dust is nothing to laugh at. It is quite a lot. So make sure you do that, and clear your endless mode too. 1 through 8 endless mode should give you 20 gold dust per clear. So go ahead and do that, and you will get an additional 160 gold dust. And trust me, you're gonna need it. We're gonna need to be saving up for a lot of this stuff. And then also keep in mind that since we will be level 60 on Monday, like in the future, there's going to be a new version of the Wormhole unlocking soon. So a lot of exciting things to look forward to in terms of that. I can't wait to see what the high levels look like. Honestly, I'm ready for it. My Meryl is stacked and ready to go. I'm ready to regenerate and cheese all these mobs. It's going to be a blast. Okay, once you've covered the Wormhole, I did want to recommend a few things for Awakening, because if you've been keeping up with your training and the extra daily checklist like we've been recommending, I'm sure that you probably have quite a few points to spend in the points store. I have 8,660. I've been saving all my points since I've leveled up my Sethphir Awakening trait, which is very, very powerful. So we can talk about some Awakening traits, because I know a lot of people are a little bit confused on what some of these are and how good they are. So the main thing I want to point out is that Sethphir's Awakening trait is the best by far. And the reason why it's the best by far is because it increases raw damage dealt. So this is technically your final damage. So this is going to be adding the most benefit at 20%. And then there are other good units that you can use, like Tsubasa, but Tsubasa is giving an attack boost, right? She's giving a percentage of attack boost, which is not the same as raw final damage, right? Raw final damage is always going to be better because it's a percentage base of the final product, where this is just a percent boost to the attack power of the weapon. So keep that in mind, that once you have your Sethphir, if you don't have it, I would definitely get it. Sethphir is very powerful, and Sethphir has a high skill cap, though. That's the only downside, is to make sure that you don't get hit, because if you don't get hit, then you're not going to lose your stacks. But don't worry, there is like protection and regeneration and a cooldown timer for losing stacks, so it's not too bad. Like, even if you're not playing optimally, you will have high stacks. So that's going to be something important to manage. And then I wanted to talk about useful traits after that, right? So in my opinion, the two most useful traits after that is going to be King's Fear the Reaper. King's Fear the Reaper allows you to get 10% of your HP back when you defeat 5 enemies. So whenever you do Wormhole, just put this on and you will have pretty much no problem. This is very, very fantastic, and it's definitely worth the 4,000 Awakening points in my opinion. You will get tons of Awakening points in the future, so you're going to have many characters max, so you might as well aim towards that. And then the second most useful one is actually going to be Hilda. Hilda has this full speed drifting ability, which gives you 10% mounted speed. So if you have this out when you're collecting treasure chests, you can essentially pretty much say this is a 10% increased XP gain, right? Because if you're getting from point A to point B faster to collect a treasure chest, you're going to be just getting more. So this is always going to be nice for traveling. Plus, it allows you to win races, and we've seen this race special event. Plus, we saw the 2.0 trailer and the 2.2 trailer, and they also have races in there again. So it seems that they tend to like racing things as events. So this is always nice to have. So I just wanted to point those out because those are pretty useful things. So if you don't have that already and you're saving up your points, you're confused on what to get, that is going to be a great place to go. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's head into the speedrun daily checklist. Starting first with bounties, of course. Make sure you get those down for a nice boost of XP, and we are getting very close to ranking up. We will be out of the middling merc, we'll be into the 3rd star of the middling merc, so that's going to be good because that will start to change the type of missions that we get, and we're going to need that because the XP is getting rough. So once you've done that, go ahead and make sure you're caught up with your main story. You should be on the part where you end the chapter for whatever this is, and then we're looking forward to Artificial Island next, which could be coming at level 60. I'm not exactly sure, but hopefully it will be very soon in the future, but we're currently stuck on this new chapter coming soon. And then we have runes. We do have a new rune to talk about today. This will be nice. You will probably get it. I think it was EO1 on normal? Yeah, EO1 on normal, which will give space-time rift shards. Very strong relic, right? If you can get this up, very, very strong relic. You'll also get gold dust, which is great, and a whopping 250,000 XP, which is going to be fantastic. And I imagine when you get up to level 58, we might even see some extra stuff, but it might be like 59 in the future. So just be aware that runes do have some new things. The next thing we're going to talk about is Mia's Kitchen. Make sure you are saving that for your Frontier Clash attempts today so you can get that extra little kick in power when you start to complete all your Clash attempts, and then hopefully that'll help you get and secure more boss boxes. Then we have Vitality. This is going to be important. Very, very important here. We are changing the way that we're doing Vitality until level 60, because at level 60, we will start to get the new level of Joint Operation, which will include 2 legendary items. So we are not using any Vitality on Joint Operation right now. We are preparing for level 60, so we need to do Stargates. If you have any 3-star Stargates, like something that has 2 in quantity of the material at the start, and I know if you're lower level, it'll say 5 because you're on the tier 1 materials, right? So just keep that in mind if you're like one of those people that are just started the game or something like that. But most of the people will be right around this level gap for the higher level, so it's going to be 2 materials in start. So you're going to need to focus on those Stargates because you're going to need a lot of these materials. And if you can't get that, Dimensional Trials 4 is always there for you. You get 1 of both of the tier 2 materials, so you can get those gold ones. You can also get the purple ones, and you're going to need both of them. So this is looking like a pretty good option at this point, especially if you can't find any 3-star Stargates of the material types that you need. So make sure you're focusing on that because level 60 is coming on Monday, and you're going to need a lot, I cannot stress that enough, a lot of weapon materials to upgrade your stuff. You can go ahead and calculate it yourself exactly what materials you need based on the weapons that you're using, because each weapon has different material use types, so then you could go ahead and be prepared and know how much you need going forward on that. So it's going to be very important. Then finally, let's talk about the level cap. So right now it's 57 out of 58 for me. Level cap is 58 today, but I have 600k out of 1.8 million. It's a lot. It's gonna take you a while to grind and do some things. And now's the point in where we're really gonna need efficient experience methods more than ever. So don't worry, I have you covered. I'm going to be coming out with some experience guides. I'm going to do some comparisons of XP per hour on lots of different things and different variants too. So there's going to be 2 styles. There's going to be AFK farming, and then there's going to be actual playing farming. Like you're actually gonna have to manual do it. We'll call it manual farming. AFK versus manual, right? Manual will always yield a higher amount of XP because you can efficiently do things, right? But the benefit of AFK farming is, hey, I just touch a button every now and then, and you know, I'm working or whatever, collecting XP. Very nice to go. So the way it looks right now, is that we did a few timed runs, and in a 10-minute span, we can get about 94,000 experience from the Raincaller Island experience farm. If you haven't seen my video on that, go check it out. It should be fast XP farming. It should be a couple days ago, but it's a really good one to do. There's a lot of treasure chests there to collect. And if you do the AFK Frontier Clash normal mode farm with the auto mode on, you will get about 44,000 in about 8 minutes. So it's definitely a lot less, but the benefit is you can AFK and do stuff while you're working or whatever it is you need to take care of. So those are going to be the two primary methods. We have some other tests coming up for some really efficient XP farms involving groups, especially involving groups that have decent, they can do decent damage. So we're going to be doing some calculations on that in the future, and I'll have another video coming out that'll be talking about the actual best ways to level, that will be fully tested and vetted. So we'll be coming up with that soon. Be on the lookout. But just be aware that for now, your goal is to reach level 58 by the end of today. And on Sunday, you can work towards filling up that level 58 bar so that you're prepared and ready to hit level 60 as quickly as possible on Monday. So now, with that out of the way, let's go into the extra daily checklist. Make sure to go and check out your training. Today I have the rhythm training again, which I quite like, and the climbing training, which is always fun. Once you have done that, go ahead and check out the black market with the Hopkins free gifts. And then Cetus Island claw machine 3 times on the attempts there, so you can get quite a bit of materials for those awakenings that we talked about earlier. And then head to Hykros. Once you're at Hykros, you can do the loop and collect all the machine parts from the little trash bins and server nodes, and then use those machine parts to maintenance your vehicles, because keeping up to date with that will yield you dark crystals and color variants for your mounts. So it's definitely pretty nice to set, hopefully, at roughly about 55 with each mount right now. That's what I'm trying to do, is even mine out, because I know we have the mech bird coming up soon with the event. So I'm trying to get them all to 55, and then I have a few more left over that I'm working on, but it should give you the highest yield of dark crystals. So very important for free-to-play players to do this, because you will get a lot of value in terms of rolls. Once you have done that, go ahead and head to the shop and claim your free supply from Mia and get your daily box. And then you can head to the hot section and buy your vitality solution. If you're a free-to-play player, I recommend the 50 dark crystal one and stop there. If you're a dolphin or a whale, I would go for the 100 dark crystal. And if you're a giga whale or a leviathan, you just do your thing and you buy the rest of the ones for 200. But that's not me, so we're going to pass on that for now. Then following that, we are going to go ahead and head over to the commissary store and double check our support points. Make sure that you are buying the things you need to get, like the joint supply chips, the black nucleus, and probably the gold, because we're going to need that pretty soon. And you will be able to check your support points by simply creating a party for yourself or joining any party. And in the top right or top left of the screen over here, you can hit this newcomer assistance icon, and it'll tell you how many support points you filled out for the day. So that's going to be a great place to check that out and keep track of what you're doing. Then you're going to want to scour around the world for elemental nodes, lightning, fire, and ice, because collecting those will give you crystals, which you can use to enhance your gear and your armor pieces. And I know after this week, you guys will probably have quite a few gold armor pieces, and we did do a video about gear upgrades, so make sure to check that one out. If you have not already, it will teach you everything you need to know about what is a good piece of gear and why you should upgrade it. Then finally following that, after all that, we have the weekly reminders that reset is coming soon. So make sure you are on top of everything. Cleared out your weekly activity. You have gotten all of the bonuses that you want to obtain from this area here. There's a lot of free gold, matrix data packs, and other goodies. So make sure you're checking that out and keeping on top of it. And finally, you're looking at your long-term goals. So achievements should be your main focus, but also mounts. So make sure you have collected all the mounts so far. Do your mount farming, AFK or not, whichever way you want to go about it. Those machine parts are also good to farm, but those achievements are going to be important. I'm currently at 2,408, and I believe there's about 2,450 total possible in the game right now. There will be more later when we get Artificial Island and 2.0, but for now, getting everything done in the first planet, the first world, is going to be a great idea for the future. All right, that's going to be it for this one. If you found this information useful or helpful in any way, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell if you feel that I have earned it. Thank you for watching the video, and we will have a live stream tonight at 6 p.m. EST, so be looking forward to that. I will take questions on anything you want to know, and we will also probably be doing a few Frontier Clash carries on the Solaris server. So if you are there, stop by. We're going to kill some world bosses, we're going to do some orienteering events, and we're going to do some carries. It should be a great time. Thanks for watching the video, and we will see you in the next one.